Welcome, everyone. How are you doing? It's such a crazy, great Friday. Happy Friday the 13th to you. I'm Dr. D, and I am here on your 28 Days of Health journey. And I hope you are learning not just from me, but from each other. I hope as you post your 28 Days of Health journey, you talk about the bundle, whether it was the de-stress bundle or protect your gut bundle or glowing skin from within. I want you to be telling us all about what you've done to achieve a higher level of health. One of the things that I think is completely underappreciated is how much of this works together. So, whether you got started with a protect your gut bundle, a de stress bundle, or beautiful skin from within bundle, they're all connected. The health of your gut will definitely show off radiant skin, maybe motivating you to look into nutraceuticals, topicals that are absolutely brilliant for the skin. When we think about the impact of de-stressing our life, unplugging, focusing on our koans and the steps that we're going to take each and every day, not only do we feel well, we are exuding wellness, right? Other people say, "What's different about you?" Right? So the idea here is when you can let go of the stress, when you can let go of the things that are bothering you, not only will you see beauty around you, you will see beauty come from within you. And that is how I want you to start your weekend. Thinking about what are you going to let go so that you can start to manifest and glow from inside. What is it that you want to do this weekend? Do you have a goal to relax? Do you have a goal to get some work done in the yard? Do you have a goal to spend time with friends or family? Maybe there's a book you want to read, a movie that you want to watch. I want you to think about what's going to drive you to feel well, right? To have that moment of unplugging so that you can recharge and feel revitalized. Maybe one of the things that we'll work on in the future is a revitalize bundle for you. How do you revitalize? Well, I want to tell you how I revitalized, and maybe it will resonate with you. Every morning I wake up early, and I know that if you follow me for anything, that I wake up early, and I have a ceremony about the way that I wake up, meaning that there are things that I do. There's a reason why I wake up as early as I do. It's so that I can have moments of calm, so that I can have moments of snuggles, so that I can ease into my day and appreciate all that is before me, be grateful for all that is before me, or that which I get to do today. And I want you, if you're not already changing your language, I want you to change your language from things you have to do to things you get to do. I want you to really manifest the rather than I need, I deserve. I want you to start choosing words that really feed your worth, because you are worthy. So if no one told you that today, I'm telling you that today. You know what else is part of my morning ritual? It is opening up the curtains. It is making sure that I step outside into the morning light. I do not want to let any of that morning sunrise get away from me. And it's not just about seeing the beauty of the sunrise. It's actually something far more important to my longevity, your longevity, and that is when our brain, when our pituitary gland, when um, um, our body, our eyes catches the first glimpse of daily light, we send signals throughout the body that not only is it time to wake up, but it is time to properly use our energy. That it is the time to start sending out proper balanced hormones for energy, for brain function, for physical movement, to keep us going. There's another critical piece of making sure that your eyes see morning light, that you embrace that initial morning light. And that, in fact, is your immune system. One of the bigger triggers for a healthy immune response to get your body doing what it's supposed to do is that morning light. If you've listened to me for any time, you've heard me say, I need you to eat within daylight hours. I want to make sure that if the sun isn't up, you're not eating, right? And that's because light gives our body so many signals. Feeding signals, sleep signals, and also immune signals. So I want to make sure tomorrow morning you are definitely embracing that morning light. There's something else I want you to embrace in the morning. If you are in an area where it gets really cold in the morning, I want you to think about embracing the cold. Don't just open up the curtains, right? Go outside and get that light. Go outside and get that immune boost, because there's something else you're going to get if you go outside, and that is the cold. This is something that our bodies today, modern man and woman, has missed out on. What we have today is the comfort often of a warm home or shelter. And one of the things that has taken from our primal bodies is the ability to properly immune thermoregulate. Now, I made that term up, right? I don't think you're going to find that in the Google, but our immune system is very much stimulated by cold. And one of the things that we're missing out on in modern life is that type of stimulation, right? So we're not very good at thermoregulating when it comes to cold, right? We go outside, we get cold, we go inside, we put on something warmer, right? Or we just simply quickly dash from our car, or from our home to our car, we turn on the heater. Some of you might have the ability to turn on your car and your heater before you ever get in the car, meaning that you're never really getting this proper signal for cold. And it's really important that you embrace it. First off, if you can embrace this cold, you're not going to complain about the cold in the future, right? So just for everyone around you where you're complaining a lot, this is good for you, right? Because you're not going to complain as much. But your immune system is going to love it. Not in the beginning, right? Now, your immune system's going to love it in the beginning. You're just not going to love it maybe in the beginning. But if you can give your body that cold, you are literally boosting your immune system. You are calling your body to action. It is the type of stimulation that is hugely beneficial for initiating a healthy immune response, a healthy energy response. We become more thermogenic. We become better at regulating temperature. We also become better at burning calories as a result of this. There's a lot of metabolic benefit to that cold shock. Now, it doesn't have to be jump in the snow. It doesn't have to be jump in icy cold water. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But you should give your body access to that cold weather. So when people tell me that they don't work out anymore because it's cold outside, I say you need to embrace that. That's something that right now you should be training up towards, so that when it gets really cold, you are what? Thermoregulated, right? And your immune system is going to appreciate that. There's something else we are missing out on when it comes to immunity. For a lot of different reasons, most of us are vitamin D insufficient. 80% of us have vitamin D levels that are insufficient. As much as 20%, and a little, depending on which scales you're looking at, 28%. So upwards of 30% are just barely meeting requirements, right? So most of us are not in an optimal range. Now, I'll tell you that optimal ranges vary depending on who you speak to. Many conventionally trained practitioners will say as long as you're 32 nanograms per milliliter, you're fine. And I just want you to know that's just barely fine, right? But more importantly, I want you to pay attention to the other number I gave you. You may be within the 28%, but 80% of people are not meeting minimum values that are not supplement takers or not taking efforts to improve their vitamin D status. And that may lead you to ask the question, how do I boost my vitamin D status? You can definitely go out in the sun. And that is a really good way to boost vitamin D as long as you have a healthy gut. See, one of the things we have to appreciate, while your body does convert vitamin D in the skin, the health of other tissues in the body, like the health of your liver, the health of your gut, where other conversion happens, the needs of your kidneys, your bones, your heart, your brain, your immune system, right? Your blood sugar, your endocrine system, all of these things are chewing up your vitamin D if you converted it in the first place. So people say, fine, fine, fine. I'll spend more time in the sun. She says, I have to go outside in the cold. That sounds great. That's terrific. If your job allows you to do that, if you're able to go out at high noon, that's exactly what I want you to do. And I want you to spend, a good 10 minutes in the sun. Whether you are a supplement taker, you eat plenty of mushrooms, you're getting vitamin D from food. It's actually not very easy to get from food. That's why I mentioned mushrooms, one of the better sources. But absolutely, you should be doing all of those things because vitamin D is absolutely necessary for your body to function well. So here's some things that you may not know about vitamin D. Vitamin D is not just important for your bones, and yet that is probably the number one reason why people take a vitamin D supplement. They were told that they're at risk for low bone mineral density, and they need to do something about that. So you should know that vitamin D pairs really well with vitamin C, with vitamin K2, with magnesium, and B vitamins to support bone mineral density and what's called bone flexibility. So you need to know that it's not just vitamin D that's going to support your bone mineral density. But going back to what I said about conversion in the skin, not everybody will be converting the same 10, 15 minutes in the sun. We don't convert them the same. Individuals that have more melanin in their skin have a slower or less conversion rate, meaning that we need to either be spending more time in the sun or considering if there's more melanin in your skin, other ways that you're going to get vitamin D in your diet or through supplementation. So that's something that we want to pay attention to. So from a bone mineral density standpoint, vitamin D is absolutely on point. We just want to make sure that we're also in an environment where we're going to be able to convert healthy. That means all of us need to make sure that we have a healthy gut and that we are in a position that we're spending enough time or that we've created an environment, whether that's based on the melanin in our skin or it's based on our micronutrient density. How's your magnesium level, right? How are you doing on vitamin C? How are you doing on B vitamins and K2? We're going to put a pin in K2 because it's an important ingredient for something else that vitamin D is helpful for. So while vitamin D is most commonly taken for individuals that want to do something about their bone mineral density, it's truly underappreciated for its benefits in cardiovascular function. Cardiovascular function is a major, or healthy cardiovascular system, vitamin D is a major player in this. Vitamin D, you may or may not know, is derivative of cholesterol. So individuals that have on medication to lower their cholesterol may also subsequently be making themselves less apt to be able to create vitamin D. So one of the things that we want to pay attention to are what are all of the ways that I may be able to boost my vitamin D. So we've talked about sun exposure, we've talked about a healthy gut, and of course there's food and supplementation as an appropriate way to do this. But many of the benefits, because vitamin D, in fact, is not a vitamin at all, it is a hormone. It's what's called a prohormone. So because it is derivative of cholesterol, it is a steroid, and it is able to have anti-inflammatory benefits. That is very beneficial for the cardiovascular system because it has that steroidogenic possibility. It's very good for endocrine function. So now I want you to start thinking about healthy blood sugars and vitamin D, and why this is really a supplement or a nutrient that needs to be at the top of your list. The truth of the matter is, every cell in your body has a vitamin D receptor on it. So that means vitamin D is probably the most cost effective thing that you'll ever do to support your overall health, blood sugar, cardiovascular, bone, right? Well, I also mentioned immunity. Now, there's a lot of different places, obviously, that vitamin D is used in the body, but it's truly recognized today for its role in immune function. Today, because of its steroidogenic, which is a pre-hormone capability that vitamin D has, it's been linked to not just improving inflammatory states in individual, because let's be honest, if inflammation in your body is overwhelming your body, you're not really going to be up for an immune attack, right? You're not really going to be up for mounting a healthy immune response. So one of the benefits to vitamin D is actually to, on both sides of a coin, be able to support a healthy inflammatory environment so that you are able to mount a healthy immune response, which does require a cascade of inflammatory molecules or chemicals in the body. But on the other side, vitamin D improves the affinity of many tissues to kind of target or regulate that immune response. So because vitamin D is so ubiquitous in the body, or that the tissues that use it are throughout the entire body, it is considered, vitamin D, one of these ways that you can target a healthy immune system, that you are able to regulate a healthy immune system with vitamin D. You may be familiar with seasonal dips in colds and flu type situations, just as a general context or a general term for when people fall under the weather. You've probably heard this referred to as a vitamin D winter. When we leave the summer months, when we leave high sun, when we leave those times, the fall that follows, right? The sun has gone down, we have less exposure to the sun, or we've simply withdrawn inside because of the cold weather in many cases. And this is what is referred to as a vitamin D winter, where you are not getting natural stimulation for effective amounts or sufficient amounts of vitamin D in your life. You're not getting the sun exposure that maybe you could get before. You're not spending as much time outside as maybe you would, which is why we want to come back to the beginning. What are you going to do? First step to boost and support a healthy immune system: morning light. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to apply cold to the situation. The third thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you are supplementing with vitamin D in addition to dietary sources of vitamin D. Whether you want to do it for healthy bones, you're doing it for a healthy cardiovascular system, healthy endocrine function like blood sugars, you are doing it to support a healthy immune system, or even a healthy brain as you age. Vitamin D is an important factor for each and every one of us. So when people say, if I can get started with just one thing, what would you do? I tell you to get a good night's sleep. It's not even vitamin D that I would tell you to do. I would tell you that you need a good night's sleep, right? Probably the most effective thing and the most impactful thing that you'll do to support your health, your longevity, is you'll get a good night's sleep. Whether you want healthy brain aging, you want vitality in the morning, productivity, you want your hormones to be in the right space. You need, obviously, blood sugar to be in the right place as a hormone, not just sex hormones, right? You don't want to wake up hungry You want to keep a healthy body weight. You want inflammation to be where it's going to be. Sleep. But if you were to ask me the question after sleep, Dr. D, if I already get a good night's sleep, what is the next thing that you would tell me that I need to do? I would say you need to make sure that your vitamin D levels are in a healthy range, that you are supplementing or eating to get your vitamin D levels to an optimal range, and that you will ask yourself, what is it that I am looking to achieve? Do I want to achieve health into my 90s? Then vitamin D is going to be a part of your daily regimen. Do I want my muscles to be healthy? Then vitamin D will be a part of your daily regimen. Do I want to have a robust and healthy and appropriate immune response? Then vitamin D will be a part of your daily regimen. Whether you're getting it in a complex, like a multivitamin complex with antioxidants, B vitamins, vitamin D, the recommendation is no less than 4,000 IUs or 120 milligrams or micrograms of vitamin D a day. It is considered safe to go up to as much as 10,000 for many individuals. If you carry extra weight, it is appropriate for you to not target 4,000, but something closer to 6,000 IUs. So let's make sure that when we think about where are we getting our vitamin D from, that we don't just ask, why do I want vitamin D? Why should it be a part of my daily regimen? But that you also ask yourself, how much do I need because of my daily activity? Remember, one of the ways that we started this conversation was that vitamin D is very beneficial through conversion in the skin if you have a healthy gut, because that is one of the next stops in conversion and support of vitamin D. So one of the reasons why I commonly recommend vitamin D that we haven't talked about here today is that vitamin D is also beneficial for a healthy gut. Because of its nature to create a healthy environment around inflammation, around steroids or hormones, around blood sugar as a part of that hormone cascade that we're talking about. A healthy gut definitely needs vitamin D. If for no other reason, then we need to make sure that we're giving the body the substrate it needs to do all of this magical work in the body, and not let an unhealthy gut, an inflamed gut, a tore up gut get in the way of us being able to achieve our very best self. While you repair your gut, I want you to also think about adding in vitamin D for all of its other benefits. Until I get to see you on our next 28 days of health, I want to see you hashtagging 28 days of health. I want you to share videos like this one or posts on Instagram. I want you to make sure that if you're not already following MA Healthy Living on Instagram, that you do that. Make sure if you are actively posting on Instagram that you tag your lifestyle, that you tag your health practices, that you tag your supplement practices with hashtag 28 days of health. And we will see you by reposting what you have created. You share what we do, and we love sharing what you do. So let's make sure that we get that done. We have a wonderful weekend until I see you again tomorrow night. Go be healthy. Go be brilliant.